you drink your own pee? The answer is no, but technically yes. Let me explain. So picture this. You're lost in a desert with dwindling water supplies. The thought of any liquid, even your own pee, seems like it could be a lifesaver. It's always around conversations like this that this question gets brought up. So let me give you a clear answer today. Because the argument is, after all, your body is incredibly efficient at filtering out what it doesn't need. And weren't you told in science class that urine is sterile? So what do? And that's where the complexity in the response comes in. Let's start with the basics. Urine is essentially a waste product. When your kidneys filter out your blood, they remove toxins, excess salts, and waste products. And then these form into urine. And normally, urine is composed of about 95% water, but it also contains all the toxins such as urea, creatinine, and various electrolytes and other substances that your body is trying to expel. Now, in everyday health, your body is doing a very fantastic job at keeping this balance. But drinking urine means that you're reintroducing those waste products back into your system. So a bit like recycling something that was already marked as discarded by your body. And there's a common myth that if you're ever in a pinch, drinking your own urine might help keep you alive. But let's break that down. While urine is mostly water, it also contains a very concentrated mix of waste products. In a survival situation, the best choice is to conserve your body's water by avoiding anything that could further tax your system. Drinking urine can actually accelerate the dehydration process because the salt and waste in it can require even more water to process. And even though urine is generally sterile when introduced into the bladder, once it leaves the body, it tends to pick up bacteria from the skin and from the environment. So drinking it increases the risk of you introducing harmful bacteria back into your body and potentially leading to more infection. So when you're in a survival situation, your body already has limited water, which means your kidneys are already working very hard to filter out the normal toxins in your body. And then reintroducing these toxins can just add unnecessary strain on them, which is far from ideal, especially when it's just trying to keep you alive. So even if you're in a pinch, think of it this way. Your body is already low on water, and it is crying out for something clean and refreshing. At the end of the day, water is water, which is why sometimes when you're really thirsty, no matter how much liquids you drink, like sodas or juices, you just need water. And urine is not water. Now you may be wondering, but is there any scenario where drinking urine is beneficial? From a medical standpoint, there is no evidence or research that supports the idea that drinking urine can offer any health benefits or help in a survival situation. But there is a psychological component here, because when you're desperate for hydration, your mind might cling to any idea of a promise of relief, even if it's a counterproductive one. But trust me, in emergency survival scenarios, do not drink your own urine. What you should focus on is sticking to methods that help you conserve your energy, avoid unnecessary exertion, and most especially try to find clean water sources. So now that we have debunked the whole myth of whether you can drink urine or not, let's talk about what you should do if you're ever in a situation where dehydration is a concern. If you know you're going to be out for prolonged periods of time, like on a hike or on a walk, carry water with you. It sounds simple, but having water on you is your best defense against dehydration. The next thing is to familiarize yourself with the environment you're in. If you're going somewhere on a hiking trip or for camping, you want to make sure that you know where the water sources are. And if you are going on a road trip, for example, you want to make sure that in your emergency kit, you have a portable water filter or water purification tablets. And finally, listen to your body. If you're ever out and you start feeling dehydrated, your body will send signal symptoms like dizziness, fatigue, and dry mouth. Do not ignore these symptoms and take immediate steps to rehydrate once you start feeling these coming on. So while our bodies are incredibly resilient, they're really not designed to handle the reintroduction of waste products in the form of urine. So the safest, most effective way to stay hydrated is with clean, fresh water. So the simple answer to the question of can you drink urine is no. Whether you're in a survival situation or not, never ever resort to drinking your own urine. Stay healthy.